If you're thinking about getting your eggs frozen in Toronto, then this is what you need to know. In today's video, I'm going to talk all about everything that you need to know before you get your eggs frozen. So I got my eggs frozen in January of 2024, so about a year and a bit ago. And I wanted to share everything that I learned, everything that I did, everything that I needed to prepare for to get my eggs frozen. So hopefully this video will be helpful for you if that's something that you're thinking about. The first thing that you're going to want to do is figure out if egg freezing is right for you. And one way that you can definitely do that is through my videos. We're going to be having a lot of conversations about what the thought process was, the things that I was considering when I was getting my egg frozen, the type of research that I did. I'll also be getting into the cost of everything so that you have a heads up on what to expect, especially if you don't have insurance or you're doing this privately. So I hope you find this video series helpful. So first off, watch my videos. In my videos, I'm going to go through everything from before, during, after the surgery, and just all the things I was thinking about considering and kind of conversations that I had with myself and with my friends. So there will definitely be a video just about that, the thought process, questions you might want to ask yourself or talk to others about. And that's the first thing that will probably be really helpful for you, is just watching the videos and really getting a good idea of what to expect. The next would be to get your finances in order. So we'll go through in another video the entire cost breakdown, start to finish. You definitely want to have your finances in order. You definitely want to know exactly how much you need to save and have that money ready. Some clinics do offer a payment plan, but for me personally, it was really important that I could pay it off all in one go, just because I didn't want to have something hanging over my head. Now, that's just my decision, and that's what works best for me. But just knowing what you're getting into in terms of finances is really, really important. The third thing that you're going to want to do beyond watching the videos and getting your finances in order is knowing who your supports are, knowing who's around you and getting your supports in place. Because I did this all by myself, but I had a lot of support from friends and family, and I think it made the experience a lot easier and a lot better. So I'm not saying that you have to do it with somebody, but in my experience, I really felt like there was a huge benefit in having a really strong support system. And for me, that was friends and family, because I don't have a partner. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is kind of get all that stuff sorted, make sure this is the right decision for you, make sure you have your finances, make sure you know what you're getting into, and figuring out your support. So once you have all of that in order, the next thing you're going to want to do is get your referral in order. So I went to Mount Sinai in downtown Toronto, which is a hospital in downtown. And on their platform, it allows you to actually self-refer to their program. So you can go on their website and self-refer to the fertility clinic. And that way you can kind of take the first step towards actually going towards egg freezing and getting more information from the clinicians and the experts. The other thing that you can do is see your family doctor if you have one and ask them for a referral, and they can also send a referral to Mount Sinai or to the clinic of your choosing. The next thing that you're going to want to do as you're preparing for getting your eggs frozen is stopping birth control. No matter what birth control, if you are taking birth control, you're going to want to give your body 3 months to kind of reset everything and get your cycle back to whatever its new normal is. So for me, I stopped taking birth control in the summer and I put my referral in August. I had a couple of months already under my belt before I decided to then put my referral in, and then the timing all worked out for me. Now, depending on wait times in your area, you might want to stop birth control first and then put your referral in. Or if the wait times are longer, you might want to put the referral in and then stop the birth control, just depending on your goals. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's always good to just give them a call or email and ask them what their wait time is for an initial visit. If the wait time is 3 or 4 months, I would put the referral in and then stop your birth control. But if the wait time is about 1 month, then you might want to stop the birth control first and then in a month or two, put your referral in. The fourth step is setting up the initial consult with the NP. So at Mount Sinai, I saw a nurse practitioner or an NP. And the way that the timeline worked was I put in my referral, and then 2 weeks later, I got an email back acknowledging that they received my referral. So just an email saying, thanks for your referral, we've received it, but no appointment. Then 2 weeks later, I was contacted with a date for an initial visit. And that was 2 to 3 weeks later after that. So in total, it took about 6 weeks for me to hear back from the NP and actually get my visit. After that initial visit with the nurse practitioner, I had to get some initial blood work done, which I will share at the end of this video of what exactly I had to get done. And then 10 days after my blood work, I had a follow-up with the nurse practitioner again. I'm going to put somewhere on the screen a chart, and this chart shows the probability of having at least one live birth depending on the age you are when you get your eggs frozen and the number of eggs that they're able to retrieve. So for example, say you had 10 eggs and you got your eggs frozen at the age of 35 or less, you have about a 70% chance of having one live birth. Or say, for example, you had 20 eggs and you're 40 years old, then the probability of you having a live birth is going to be around 50%. So I thought this was a really, really cool graph because it kind of gives you an idea of what you can expect in terms of probability of having a live birth, and then also helps you decide, okay, do I need to get my eggs done now? Like I'm under 30, I'm under 35. Do I need to do it now, or do I want to maybe wait a couple years? Or maybe I'm going to have to do a couple cycles of IVF because in order to get numbers like 20, 30, or 40, I might have to do more than one cycle. So since I was under 35 when I was getting my eggs frozen, I'm kind of at this red line, or I might even be somewhere in between the red line and this blue line. And the idea for me was like, if I get around like 10 or 15 eggs, my probability of having a live birth is 80%, if not, maybe even higher than that. And so that was really reassuring to me to know, okay, like if I do one cycle of IVF, the chances of me having a live birth, if I'm able to get between 10 and 20 eggs, is really high. And of course, this is going to depend on the person. All that to say that it was really, really nice to have this graph to look at because it helped me with my decision and also gave me peace of mind in terms of knowing what my probability or what my likelihood of having a live birth was. So I'm going to include a link to this study in the description box down below, and you can take a look at it and see where you might land on the graph, and hopefully you find that helpful. So the nurse practitioner shared that chart with me, and then they also shared my probability and my results and kind of put me on the graph. And because my results were really good, they asked me if I wanted to wait 1 year and kind of redo the blood work in a year and see where I was at. But I had decided that no, like I want to get this done as early as I possibly can because I know for sure I want to have kids one day. So for me, it was not really a question of when, it was just a matter of how soon. I didn't really want to wait another year because I knew that I wanted to do it now. So for me, it wasn't really as relevant, but it might make a difference for you and it might influence your decision. So I will put the link to that study in the description box so that you can access it and look at it for yourself and decide what might be the best decision for you. So the last thing that I will just show you is the blood work that I had to get done in preparation for my nurse practitioner follow-up visit. I'm also going to include a link on how you can download that for yourself so that you can really visually see, okay, what do I need to get done on what day? Because it does matter what day you get your period, and then they will time the blood work out from that day. So this is the chart that I made, and you can see the day I got my period and then the day I got my blood work done. I also include all of the blood work that I got done on that day. So there was LH, FSH, progesterone, estradiol, AMH, CBC, Hep B, Hep C, HIV-1, HIV-2, syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea, and all of those were covered except for the AMH. And that's obviously in Toronto. So wherever you are, it might not be the same, but at least in Toronto, all the other tests were covered except for AMH, which was $75. And then on that same day, so on day 4 of my period, I also got an ultrasound with my antral follicle count and a gynecologic scan. So I thought this was really helpful to just have it all written down in one place. I hope you find this download to be helpful because I know when I was getting into it, I was pretty confused about what to even expect and what was going on and what was going to happen and what the timeline was. So I'm hoping that these videos will be really helpful if you're thinking of doing it. And again, we're going to have a lot of conversations about, is this right for me? Why it was right for me, and things that maybe you want to think about if you're considering getting your eggs frozen. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you're just trying to figure out, okay, how do I even get started? What do I need to do before I even decide I'm going to get my eggs frozen? So to summarize, watch the video series, see if this is something that you want to do, and see if the process seems like something that you would like or be able to do. Get your finances in order. We'll talk all about finances in another video. Figure out who your supports are. Then you're going to find out what the wait time is at the clinic that you want to go to. And then from there, decide if you're going to put the referral in and then stop your birth control if you're taking it, or stop your birth control and then reach out to them closer to the date. Then you're going to set up the initial consult with the clinic, and that's going to include some blood work. So get your blood work done, get your ultrasound done, and then meet with the team and decide what your options are and see where you might fall on that graph to see, okay, well, should I wait or should I get it done now or should I maybe think about it? All those kinds of questions. And then once that's done, you will be ready to get started. I had a very positive experience overall. I'm really, really glad that I did it, and I don't have any regrets with getting my eggs frozen. So I definitely think it's worth considering, and I definitely would encourage you to do it too if you think it's the right decision for you. Obviously, every person's different, but I don't regret my decision whatsoever. So if I can help empower another person to make that decision for themselves and be happy with it, then I definitely do encourage it. Just making sure you know we're all different. Let me know in the comments what you might want to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.